Stay on spirit. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. I woke up this morning with my mind stayed on spirit. Woke up this morning with my mind stayed on spirit. Woke up this morning with my mind stayed on spirit. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Yeah. Thank y'all. Good morning again. Right, I'm choosing heaven. I'm choosing heaven today. I'm choosing heaven today. I am walking the road of heaven right now, singing, I'm choosing heaven today. Love. I'm choosing love today. I'm choosing love today. I am walking the road of love right now, singing, I'm choosing love today. Joy. I'm choosing joy today. I'm choosing joy today. I am walking the road of joy right now, singing, I'm choosing joy today. Peace. I'm choosing peace today. I'm choosing peace today. I am walking the road of peace right now, singing, I'm choosing peace today. Heaven. I'm choosing heaven today. I'm choosing heaven today. I am walking the road of heaven right now, singing, I'm choosing heaven today. I am walking the road of heaven right now, singing, I'm choosing heaven today.
Good morning, Ahava Center for Spiritual Living. How y'all doing this morning? All right. Well, first, let's give some love to these wonderful musicians. We have Tina Fondren on vocals and Teddy Driscoll on keys. Ahava is the Hebrew word for love. Is it not on? I was thinking it didn't sound like it was on. Well, this is a different one. Never quite know what's going to happen when you get up here. All right. Ahava is the Hebrew word for love. We gather together each Sunday knowing that love is always the answer. I'm Jennifer Epperly. I'm your Core Council President and your host for today. And I just want to welcome you here. We are an open-minded community, committed to providing a loving space to be reminded of the truth of who we are. We are an open and affirming community, so whoever you are and whoever you love, you are safe and welcome here. If you are joining us via live stream, please say hello in the chat and let us know where you're tuning in from. And make sure to hit the like and subscribe button. And if you're in the room, we encourage you to take photos. Turn your volume down on your phone before you do any of that. Check in and share pictures and inspirations and videos on social media from today. I think we have a couple of first-time guests today. If you want to raise your hand if you're a first-time guest, anybody here for the first time? Welcome, welcome. Somebody from our core council will bring you a little gift. And if you haven't already gotten a connection card, we'll make sure you get a connection card. When you fill that out, one of the things that happens is we can add you to our newsletter so that you stay up on everything that's happening here. And you know, everybody who's here in this room changes the vibration that we are, so we are particularly happy to welcome in new folks. We are grateful for the many people who give each week of their time, talent, and treasure. We appreciate all the hearts and hands that go into creating this Sunday morning service and the many ways we are served behind the scenes. So let's all give some love to all the volunteers who make this possible. And now's a great time in our service where we honor the divinity in all of us. So I'd like to invite you to take a moment and look at somebody sitting, whether close to you or across the room, however you want, maybe putting your hands over your heart and simply saying, "Thank you for being a reflection of me." Thank you for being a reflection of me. Thank you for being a reflection of me. We have a fabulous vision and purpose here. And let's say these together. So our vision, we'll start here. We are an inclusive community committed to global transformation through personal evolution. And then our purpose, we can say this together too, is to wake up, step up, and make a difference. And we're going to say our affirmation together too, since it's up there. So, I channel my anger into sacred, purposeful action. I love that. Now I invite you to take a deep breath and turn within as we move into our centering song and opening prayer led by Reverend Jenna Evergreen.
In the silence, there is peace. In the silence, there is unspoken joy. In the silence, there's release from a world full of chaos and noise. So I wait for this precious moment when I hear all that could never be said. And right here in this holy silence, I find God, I find myself.
In the silence, I find God. Knowing that there is one life, one power, one amazing spirit that lives and breathes as each one of us. God is living as each of us, as love, as peace, as joy, as freedom, as power. This is the truth of who we are. We are as God is. Spirit is amazing. There is only one life. This life is each of us. There is only one. And I'm so grateful for this truth. We are so blessed by our amazing musicians today. We are blessed by our speaker, Dr. Bob Deen. And we are blessed by all the love that we share in this community. And I bless this space, this sacred space where we come together and celebrate this truth of who we are. And I let it be by saying, and so it is.
In the silence, there is peace. In the silence, there is unspoken joy. In the silence, there's release from a world full of chaos and noise. So I wait for these precious moments when I hear all that could never be said. And right here in this holy silence, I find God, I find myself.
I'm going to invite Colleen Steele up to do our readings. We actually have two, one from Brene Brown and the other from, it's the Science of Mind point of view. I think it's Ernest Holmes. Colleen?
Reading from one of my favorite Brene Brown books, Braving the Wilderness, The Quest for True Belonging and the Courage to Stand Alone. When we are in pain and fear, anger and hate are our go-to emotions. It's easier to be pissed off than it is to be hurt or scared. Anger is a catalyst. Holding on to it will make us exhausted and sick. Or sometimes anger can mask a far more difficult emotion like grief, regret, or shame. And we need to use it to dig into what we're really feeling. Courage is forged in pain, but not in all pain. Pain that is denied or ignored becomes fear or hate. Anger that is never transformed becomes resentment and bitterness. In Ernest Holmes' words, anger can be turned into love, and the very power that has been destroying can be made to build up. Ernest Holmes teaches that all emotions, including anger, are expressions of energy. He teaches that emotions and thoughts are powerful forces that shape our lives. He also teaches that emotions fuel manifestation. The key lies in how we direct our emotions. When Holmes says anger can be turned into love, and the very power that has been destroying can be made to build up, he is pointing to the transformative potential of using emotional energy consciously. Holmes emphasizes that all mental energy, whether positive or negative, can be transformed through conscious direction, like turning anger into love.
person, I tell you that for certain. You better mind your own business when you're talking to me. But the woman behind my curtain knows a lot about crying and hurting. And if you ask me just right, I might open up wide and let you see. I'll show you mine, I'll show you mine, I'll show you what I have to live with all the time. Keep your private parts to yourself. Be cool like everyone else, but I'll show you mine. I'll show you mine. I know where the silence comes from. Easier to play dumb than let people know what really happened to me. But if I don't pull back the cover, it'll happen over and over. So you might as well know if you want to get close to me. I'll show you mine, I'll show you mine, show you what I have to live with all the time. Keep your private parts to yourself. Be cool like everyone else, but I'll show you mine. I'll show you mine. They say the only way through is forward, but that don't help me face tomorrow. And if I find goodness in you, I might take a chance again. Get ready for a big reaction, 'cause I've seen a lot of action, but I'm still the same sweet girl I've always been. I'll show you mine, I'll show you mine, I'll show you what I have to live with all the time. Keep your private parts to yourself. Be cool like everyone else, but I'll show you mine. I'll show you mine.
Whoops. Boy, is this my day. Up and down and back and forth. Let's try that again. Here we go. Wow. Thank you, Tina. That was beautiful. Thank you, Teddy. And thank you, Michael. Michael wrote that just for today. Show you mine. Well, you've seen mine. It's mixed up, messed up some days, and it's all smooth and polished on other days. Anybody know what I'm talking about? Anybody experience that? Yeah, I know you have. Just pretend. Go ahead. See, what I love about this topic now, I didn't love it when I first saw it was on the list or the schedule. I was like, really? You want me to talk about anger and turning anger? I'd rather just talk about sweetness and light. Isn't that better? Don't y'all come in here just to feel sweetness and light? You don't want to feel anger. You don't want to see anything about that old crazy world out there that might make you mad. You started it out there. That's right. Of course, she was quoting Brene Brown, who does not mind using whatever language to express whatever she feels needs to be expressed. Anger is a force for change. Anger as something we can transform into love. Really? How many have heard the phrase somewhere in a movie? You know what movie? I'm mad as hell. I'm not going to take it anymore. You know that movie? 1976. Can you believe it? Those of you who've been around since then. Those who weren't born yet, I apologize. We'll catch you up. The movie was Network. And it was the commentator that just had a meltdown. It was one of the biggest movies of that year, and it took Academy Awards all across the board, Best Actor, Best Supporting Actor, best, because it was pointing to something that was just showing up. as being important in our culture in this country, and that is the news and how the news is told as truthful or not truthful. And my favorite part is when he says this on the news, just throw your TV out the window. And they did. And there's this great scene where someone throws it out the window in New York, and you hear as people all over these apartment buildings and echoing back and forth, mad as hell, and I won't take it anymore. And all the TVs are being thrown out the window. Well, that's one solution to the problem. Probably not the one that's going to work the best, but it's one solution to get started. Because sometimes we are so inundated now more than ever, because now we wear our TVs on our arms or in our pockets or wherever, where we are constantly being hit with what's going on, and it's designed to either scare you or make you mad. The algorithms are all set up. It's the first time you react to one of those, little computer somewhere out there in the ozone says, ooh, she likes that one. Let's get her to do that again. Or let's get him to get mad about that again. And leave a nasty comment. That gets even more if you leave nasty comments. Next thing you know, you get another opportunity to do that, another opportunity to do that, until you're inundated with all of this. Now, I'm not saying it's all bad. I'm saying you're in charge of it. You don't feel like you are because you're getting hit with all this stuff all the time. But you determine what the algorithm is going to give you over and over again. We heard something like that from Ernest Holmes, I think, somewhere down the road, like what you put out there comes back to you. Y'all heard that before? What you think manifests in your world around you. Well, that's the whole point of today's talk. The anger we carry can either be destructive or it can be transformed into something very powerful. Ernie has a whole bunch of stuff. He has a whole big fat textbook. Some of you have looked at it and studied it. Some of you have been in classes about it, about how you transform these things into one thing. Now, when I first got into this teaching, I got into it in the 80s during the HIV crisis when AIDS was first hitting and people were being lost right and left. And a bunch of us got really mad because the government was doing nothing. Our friends were in the hospital. We couldn't see them because even the nursing staff was afraid to go in because nobody really knew yet what the problem was. We got mad. We said, no, we're not taking this. And so we started getting food to them. We started doing the things that needed to be done as groups of individual people. No organizations, no nothing yet. Out of that grew organizations that are now worldwide. And I talked about that, I think, last time I was here. That's enough about that. The point of it is we got mad, but we used our anger instead of to attack the CDC or the government. CDC was in Atlanta, so it would have been easier just to go down there and walk around and wave flags and posters at the CDC, but it wouldn't have done as nearly as much good as turning that anger into action. Being angry enough to get up early in the morning after a night out and party and having a good time, because I was young enough to be doing that then, and get out there and take food to my friends. You know, we do that. The anger can be an energy to both of us. Anger is simply an energy. All feelings are energy. All feelings are the energy around our belief nodules or our belief systems that allow those systems to stay in place and support them staying in place. In the case of joy pops up when we're doing things we love or when there's something happening in our world that we just go, oh, wow, that's so much fun. I heard some little kids in the hallway this morning in the hotel just giggling and laughing and chasing each other, one into the hall to the other. I had two choices. I could say, oh, they're making noise. Or I could do what I did, which is I just felt so much joy listening to them giggle and squeal and have a good time and laugh. But there's a whole cluster of belief in me about children being valuable and important and supportable, that we as adults have a responsibility to all children to bring them love and support and positivity. So my joy just popped right up because that was normal. If I had a belief system that said children should be seen and not heard, they should not be running up a hallway in a hotel, my goodness gracious, just because it's carpeted and they are completely safe. That's no excuse. I was having a peaceful coffee, and here they are making noise. If that was my belief system, my anger would have popped right up instead. It didn't. I'm grateful that it didn't. There was a time when it might have. If it was my daughter doing it, there was a time when it might have. But I got over that. So you get the connection? See, this whole train between thoughts and beliefs, emotions, and then the expressions that happen in our life, it's that, the order. You know, the emotions do not drive the thoughts. Now, it may feel that way when your emotions come up about something you didn't even know you had feelings about. Somebody walks in the room and makes you mad just because they're here. Not here at Ahava, of course, but out there in the world. And even if you don't know them, you ever run into somebody you never knew, didn't know, never met, and you get mad at them the minute you see them? Just me? I'm the only one twisted and worn out? Okay. I see some hands in the back of the room. Thank you. The bus is awake. So that happens because they either remind us of something, or they're doing something that reminds us of something in us that we don't like, or they look like somebody, or they're wearing something that triggers a memory that we don't even know we have, you know, or they're somebody from our past lives. Who knows? Doesn't matter. What matters is that it's an opportunity then to start looking within, and I wonder what made me mad about them, and to start exploring that. So instead of acting on our anger, we take a deep breath. We take a moment. And then we say, then we get curious. I'm curious about that. We're being trained now by our algorithms and our choices to hate certain people in the world. People that yesterday or last year or 5 years ago we might not have hated at all. But now we've got to hate them. One of the things I love about Brene Brown is that she brings so much truth and so much power in her talk and in her world and in her work. And she owns guns. Now that breaks up some stuff, right? She got in a lot of trouble when she admitted that. Trouble from her constituents, because they're, what do you mean you're a gun person? She's a hunter. She's in Texas. It's a part of their culture and life. It's handled very carefully. She does not haul it around in her car with her to protect herself. It's for hunting. And her whole family is involved in that. So it breaks up that either or thing that we tend to get going. If somebody is a hunter, well, they must be a this and a this and a this and a that. Right? How dare they kill animals? People kill animals all the time. Otherwise, we wouldn't have hamburger. Come on, people. You know, we have to work out these things in our minds and break up or take an opportunity to get curious if you have a reaction to that. I have a reaction to that because I don't own guns. I don't want guns anywhere around me, and I'm fine with that, which means I would probably go to her house, but I wouldn't go hunting with her. I surely would go to her house if she invited me. I'd love to see where she lives. Excuse me. So it's the feelings come up based on our beliefs, based on the ideas of what we have either consciously or unconsciously said yes to and believed about either ourselves or the world or how it should be. Excuse me. So what Ernest says about that is that we need to uncover what our beliefs are, and if they're not true, or they're beliefs we don't want anymore, or that are false, we need to neutralize them. How do you neutralize a belief? You don't neutralize it by getting rid of it. You neutralize it by working with the opposite. I believe. I can look around the room and I can see somebody frowning. I won't look up so you won't know who I'm talking about. Now, I can have a belief in me that anybody in the audience that's frowning and don't like me. There was a time in my early ministry where I wondered that. Somebody didn't like me and they They were frowning. I thought they were frowning because they didn't like me, or they thought I was dumb, or I wasn't making sense, or they didn't understand. So I keep saying the same thing over and over and over again. And finally somebody said, would you move on? I got it. I was just thinking about it. I wasn't frowning at you. I was thinking. When I think, I frown. Did you know that? Do you know people frown when they think, and it may not be because of anything negative? Huh. How about that? Somebody on a bus frowning, sitting there. You know, pick up all kinds of stories about that. The point of that is when we do that, then we instead offer the opposite. That person's frowning because they're contemplating, considering what we're talking about here, and giving thought to it, that it matters. Wow. So replacing those thoughts with better ideas. Replacing the idea that everybody that owns a gun's a bad person. There are no bad people. What? You know that old thing back here a few years ago? Why do bad things happen to good people? Because it's the only people that can happen to. We don't have any bad people. Because people are all made out of God stuff. They're all made out of the universal oneness that is what we're all about. And that's only good. It ain't bad. You're not bad. You're not a bad person. Anybody told you that, you tell them they just don't know what they're talking about. So Byron Katie goes on to say, is another one who works with this idea. And she calls it the work. Anybody know the work? Done the work? Good. Because when you find this belief system in you about everybody in the audience that's frowning doesn't like me, or whatever it might be, you have to ask yourself, is this true? It might be, but it might not be. Can I absolutely know it's true? Absolutely not. Most things we can't absolutely know whether they're true or not, but some things we can. And then how do I react when I believe that thought I'm having that may not be true? Okay. And then who would you be without that thought? Those are the 4 steps in the work. And then she says, once you get to that point, you can turn it all around. Instead of seeing somebody as being critical of me, I can say to myself, maybe I'm the one criticizing me. Somebody told me one time I was a terrible ballet dancer. Now, it didn't bother me one bit. I'm like, you are absolutely 100% right. Unless you were in Dixie County, Florida in the mid-50s and saw me standing on stage, a fat little boy in a tutu and a whatever they call those, body sock, is what it felt like, with my little sister's dance troupe, being the guy standing there holding their hands while they spun around, or picking them up and flipping them over, or doing whatever I was supposed to do in the routine. Not any kid close to ballet dancing. You would have thought it was pretty terrible, but nobody did. They all laughed at us and thought it was fun and funny and joyful, and everybody had a good time. So if somebody said to me, you're a terrible ballet dancer, or when they said it to me, I just laugh with them. Of course I am. Now, if somebody said you're a terrible speaker and you just don't make sense most of the time, I might feel differently. Right now I wouldn't, but in my early days I would. Or, you're just missing the point. That would stir something in me, right? Then I'd have to go back and work with that. See, it's those things that people criticize us with, or say it to us, or say at us, that upset us and keep us upset, are only doing that because we agree with them on some level. You're a bad person. Well, there are enough things that I've thought of myself as needing to improve, that if someone says to me, you're a bad person, I can find that list real fast. It's filed away right at the surface. Anybody else ever have that? Or you're a bad driver? Or somebody blows a horn at me? It's fine when I'm blowing the horn at somebody else, but when they blow the horn at me, my brain goes off with, yeah, you're right. You pulled out in front of so-and-so. You did this. You did that. You did the other. You remember that wreck you had because you were looking at some pretty thing on the side of the road, and instead of looking where you were going and hit a car? Yeah, all these things come up. in our lists. And it's resolving those that set us free of the angry responses. Because when somebody blows a horn at me, I just want to blow the horn back, even though I know I'm in the wrong. I made a mistake. Anybody else do that? I know I'm telling you all about my stuff. Like I said, I'll show you mine. You're seeing mine. Because I want to show you mine so you can find yours. How is this working for you? Not because I want to show you my stuff up here. No. So that's all about recognizing and working with what's inside of us, the anger that comes up. If I'm angry about something, 9 times out of 10, it's myself I'm angry at, or my anger is attached to something I got that I didn't want. One year, I was a little kid, for Christmas, my great aunt who lived in another state, kept talking, I can't wait to see you guys. I got presents for you. Can't wait. And we got there, and she had these little packages wrapped. We were so psyched and ready and excited, and we opened them up, and it was a 50-cent piece. Even in the 1950s, that was a small present. So we were mad. We weren't just sad, we were mad. After all the buildup, driving 4 hours to get there, and it was a 50-cent piece. So we were mad. In her mind, it was a great value, and it was a great value. She didn't have a lot of money. It was a lot of money for her. And it took my mother sitting us down in the corner and talking to us for a while before we got clearly why we should be appreciative. I still have that 50-cent piece to remind me. It's sitting in a drawer in a little box. I save everything. I'm showing you mine. Okay. So anyway, the point of that is some things will get us going, and sometimes it's our own limited thinking, most of the time, all the time, that gets us stirred up and that keeps the anger going. Anger is only a problem if you hold it in and stuff it. Then it boils like the reading said. I mean, you heard the whole talk already in that reading. I'm just fleshing it out a little bit here. So that's the part about inside of us and how we work with the anger. The other part to talk about is how we redirect our anger or fury into action, into visionary action. Yes. You already heard the example. I'm mad as hell. I'm not going to take it anymore. A lot of things happening in the world right now that people are mad about, I suspect. And we don't talk about that here too much because we don't want to get into who's the what or who's on which side, and we don't. Because the problem with it is, Brene Brown also says, it's easy to be angry at people and hate them from a distance. It's hard to do up close. Think about that. That's why we don't hate each other here. People have different political opinions, I'm sure. I haven't polled you. I'm not going to. Relax. I could probably poll you about your sexuality and get a better response than from trying to poll the politics. There was a time when we could talk politics easily, but we could talk about sex. Now we can talk about sex. We just can't talk about politics. So, crazy world, right? But those things come up, and they come up to give us a chance to find out what we think and feel. If you find yourself angry about things happening in the world, I get angry when I see homeless people. It's so unnecessary and useless. I get really angry about it. And I can either go around and be angry about that, or I can do something to help. And so I do something to help instead. I contribute to food banks to help feed them. And, we do this surface stuff that we can do, and then I look at the deeper issues and work with the political issues to take it to a solution. And I'm motivated to do that by my anger. It transforms into love because when I see someone being cruel to a child, that one gets an immediate response from me. I will say to them, there's a better way to do this. You don't have to slap that kid. There's a better way to get that child to do what you want. And 9 times out of 10, that will get me a conversation. or it'll get me threatened. And that's okay, because I try to, because in that response, I know I'm going to get that response. So I stay with myself and recognize that that's in them. They're at the end of their rope. They don't know what else to do. People turn to violence when they don't have any other way to do power, when their power has no other outlet that they think is having a positive response. If I just yell at you and you change your behavior, then that's it. I could stop. But for when the yelling doesn't work or the stop that doesn't work, that's when the violence comes up. And then often it just becomes a habit. So the choice here is, though, to stay with your own anger, but step back from other people's enough to decide, what's my anger and what do I really need underneath that anger? Then we go back to homes, back to this is me angry. This is why I'm angry. What is my belief system behind my anger? What do I really believe about people who hit children? The statistics are amazing, you know. What is it? 98% of people who do harm children were harmed as children themselves. And only a very small percentage of the people who were harmed as children go on to harm children. That's the other side of the coin. That's why it's a hopeful culture we live in that's growing towards more and more support and help for our children. And I'm talking children of all ages, by the way. I'm talking about anywhere in our culture that people are being physically attacked and harmed for whatever reason, whatever apparent reason. And we have minorities being attacked, which is now becoming culturally okay to do that, when for a long time we had begun to filter that away, but not anymore. Not anymore. It's a trend. We're moving back and forth on that. It's very sad. But if you stay spiritually grounded, you can take your anger and turn that into positive, affirmative action of some sort. And it may be simply treating on their behalf. What if you could see that person who's harming someone as that hurt little child that's doing the best they know to do, and then you can love them? Whenever, after 9/11, I worked with a group of people. There were a group of ministers who got together, and we started treating for all of the world leaders. But it was very hard to do for a particular world leader who had done, we thought, had caused the bombing and all of that. How do you treat for a person who's caused this much hurt and pain? And we came upon the idea of seeing all of the world leaders as little kids, 3-year-olds, playing in a playground together, having their moments of squabble, but falling back into love with each other like children do. You know, they don't hold grudges at 3 unless you've taught them to. They get right back together. So we started visualizing all of these world leaders as 3-year-olds having a great time in the sandbox. And we started treating from that place. Now, did it make a difference? I don't know. It made a difference for me. It gave me hope. It gave me a way to stand positive. I believe it made a difference in the world. Those leaders are no longer leaders. They've gone. They've moved on. It's been a long enough time. There are others down in place doing other things. What if we just loved them? Warts and flaws and all. Do I really have to? Sorry. I'm going to get off the politics now, I promise. See, the way to change it, Holmes says, is through treatment or prayer, meditation, looking for love, somewhere in all those responses. So I start treating for those folks. I do. I treat for our world leaders now on a regular basis. And I don't have too hard a time seeing them as 3-year-olds. Yeah, you got that. Okay. But I try not to make that a judgment. But it does come up, yes. Because sometimes it's the stuff. But you know what? I've trained my algorithms to show me the worst of them by looking at the worst of them. I've trained my cell phone to keep giving me the same old nonsense. So I don't do that anymore. I go for more balanced written stuff about news if I'm going to read anything. Now, how do you maintain our composure? The last part. I'll be done here in a minute. How do you maintain your composure in all of this chaos that we're talking about? Because we don't want to walk around angry all the time with your anger sitting right on the surface ready to punch somebody or ready to be punched. That's the other part. When you feel it angry, you try to hold it in, you're setting yourself up to receive other people's. How do you do that? You know, so old, ancient metaphysical truth predates Holmes. Count to 10. Anybody ever hear that? Did your mom ever tell you that? Before you respond or react, count to 10. I can get to 3 sometimes. And sometimes I don't need it at all. I just remember to stop, take a breath, take a step back, because it's just the energy around belief systems. That's all it is. It's just energy. And I have within me and you have within you all the power we need to transmute that energy. Now, I'm not going to keep welcoming it because of that, but I have the power to transmute it and to love. You know what? People who are angry at you, if you just keep loving at them, they'll either change or they'll leave you alone. They'll get out of your world. Yeah. The other one is another playground special. Sticks and stones will break my bones, but words will never hurt me. Well, words do hurt. But they hurt because of our belief systems. They hurt because they can coerce other people to do. But you can still stand in that truth. They won't hurt me without the words. My all-time favorite metaphysician, Pee Wee Herman, says, I am rubber, you are glue, it bounces off of me, it sticks to you. I use that a lot when somebody's really coming at me about something. Just stand there and just imagining, boom, boom, bouncing right back. Because it really does, folks. When we're spewing at somebody else, it may look like it hurts them. And it might if they take it on. But the truth is, it's only hurting us. My stowed anger, stewed up anger, held in anger, spewed anger doesn't hurt anybody but me. I wish it were different on certain days. But most days, I'm glad this is how life is, because then I can do something about it. I can't do anything about it if it's not mine. For when I know it's mine, I got some choices. I got some freedom. I can do it. So step back and meet that anger, if there's anger coming at you, with curiosity. I wonder why you feel that way about me. Explain, tell me some more. That'll stop somebody in their tracks. They might get bigger and louder for a minute, but if you keep saying it, I'm curious, why are you so angry at me? And you don't respond back with anger, it just goes, the whole thing falls apart. Meet it with curiosity. So in conclusion, I remind you, we honor all emotions because everything that is within the power that is called God, that is called consciousness, that is called oneness. We can't pick and choose. This is part of the oneness, but this isn't. What is it part of then? If there's one infinite intelligence, universal presence, then, and it's infinite, you can't have two infinites. You know? You only have one of those. So if God is everything, as everything, maybe our anger comes up to show us what we need to grow. Where we need to grow, where we need to look, where we need to grow and enjoy. Now I realize this is a heavy talk. I can see on you, everybody's thoughtful. Not everybody's smiling, and that's okay. Because what I really want for us here at Ahava is to get past our anger at each other, our anger at those who were here and left. I'm inviting you to that because we're getting ready for a new minister. And you have some wonderful ideas for who that minister is going to be. And I'm going over time. I will just let you know. If you need to go to the potty or the food or coffee, feel free to get up and walk out. I won't be offended. But I want you to think a minute about all the qualities we want in this new minister. We got to have before they get here, or they won't get here. And here's what I want to offer to you. I can't find that sheet of paper. Okay. I'm going to be around all week. And I have all day tomorrow, but that's all by schedule. Tuesday's pretty full. I have a lot of time Wednesday afternoon, Thursday afternoon, all day Friday, all day Saturday, part of Sunday, none of Monday because I'm flying out of here. And I'm available to you to process any of this you need to process, to help you get ready for your new minister, or whatever is going on in your life that you want support with, or work with, or help with. Because that's what we do in a spiritual community. We help each other. We support each other. I have some pretty good skills and gifts at listening and solving problems and sorting things out. So I'm available. How much does it cost? We'll sort that out on one-on-one, what you can afford, how you want to pay me, if you want to pay me basis. I'm also good for lunch, for walks, for fun, for parties, for any other kind of things you need from me. Not just the heavy stuff. Because, again, that's part of getting ready for the new minister. Because you're going to invite somebody in here that's going to be ready to take you to a whole nother level. And that's going to include the joy and the fun and the partying. Okay, I don't know any way to pull this out of the heaviness except to let you know this is important, it matters. And my teacher, Kennedy Schultz, used to pound his fist on the pulpit and say, "Get over it." Because you have everything within you that you ever needed and ever will need to do just that. Whatever it is that you need to get over. You got the skill, you got the power, you got the resources within you, and with the support of this community to get over it. And you'll do that. So with that, I'm going to stop. We're going to go out and party in just a minute because we got some coffee and stuff out there. And right now, let me just share with you one quick treatment. There's only one power, and that power is infinite mind. That power is my mind now. It is the stuff my life is made of. It is I live within it. We all live within it. It's not out there somewhere that we have to go get it. We're in it already. We're like fish swimming, looking for the 7 seas. We're already in the 7 seas. Therefore, we are standing, living, moving, breathing within this power we call God. Standing, living, breathing, moving. With all of the resources the infinite has available to us. It is available to us right now. Because we are individuated versions of that. We're like pieces of the hologram with the wholeness of the universe available within us. The love, the joy, the peace, the harmony. All the goodness is here. With all the other stuff that takes us toward greater goodness. Knowing that that is so, right here, right now, I embrace it. I embrace this reality. I am open to showing you mine as you're showing me yours, my truth, my reality, my vulnerability, my love. I stand in that place without judgment, but with great, great freedom. I let go of any self-judgments about any of this that I've been talking about. I let go of any self-judgment that I've been hearing about from Dr. Bob or anywhere else in the world. Instead, I recognize I am simply a spiritual being in a physical life experience growing more and more towards the full expression of that spirituality. And I'm doing that as my very best that I can. This is my joy. This is my freedom. I let it be. And so it is. Thank you all very much. I quit. Thank you.
Know that song, We Let It Be.
We let it be. We need to turn my mic off.
We let the love wash over us. We let it be. Joy. We let the joy wash over us. We let it be. Peace. We let the peace wash over us. We let it be. We let the love wash over us. We let it be. We let it be.
Whew. Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Bob. Now it's our time for conscious giving. We give from our fullness, knowing that there is always enough. Our core council will pass the baskets in the room. There are several ways you can give. If you want to give online, you can do that as well. You can go to our website, ahavacenter.net, and click the Give tab, or text the word GIVE to 859-209-6996, or you can mail your gift here to 168 Burt Road, Lexington 40503. So now we're going to do our offering affirmation. Let's say this together, please. Divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I joyously contribute to the vision of Ahava, knowing that it returns to me multiplied abundantly. And so it is. I'll get it right eventually.
I forgot for a second. All right. I'm so grateful. Gratitude before me, gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful. 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 Grateful. I love this joy. I love it. I love it. All right.
Before I read the happenings that we have up here, I wanted to take a minute. So Dr. Bob and I both have decided to be verbose on the same day. So again, if you need to step out or anything, I won't be offended. I wanted, as the Core Council President, to give you an overview of some of the happenings that we have been having here around Ahava. You mentioned the wonderful energy of the joy. Every week that I come here, I just really marvel and appreciate and soak in all of the joy and all of the energy that we have here. And this has been, a period of transition for all of us. At Ahava, we've always had very strong leaders. And when we didn't know who we were, they could tell us who we were. And now, we're having to take some of those next steps. At 17 years old, we're kind of a teenager getting ready to step into adulthood. So it's been our time to say, who are we and what do we want, and then call into us what we are looking for. So congratulations to all of us on that. So we've had just a lot happening around here. All you have to do is look at the newsletter and see we have classes, we have musical events, we have fundraisers, we have receptions, we have greeters out front. So much of this is community generated. This is not somebody making it happen for you all. This is you making it happen for yourselves. This is the community initiating what it wants to see. Okay. And that's a delight. That's a delight. I mean, really to be appreciated, and good job. Early in the year as a community, we took on the job of really looking at ourselves and deciding what we wanted. First, there was a workshop to look at what do we want, what are the values that are important to us, and then we've looked at what are the qualities of the minister that we want to call in. And not all of this has been easy work, because it's also meant that we had to look at ourselves, because the community starts with the self and then moves to the community. So now, out of all of that, we wrote our community profile, which is basically our job posting for the minister that we want to see here. That's been posted since mid-June. Now we wait. We don't get to control when candidates apply, all that stuff. So it's kind of that uncomfortable period where it's like, oh man, okay, so we're waiting. We're waiting for candidates, but the work for us continues. What we can control is continuing to work on ourselves, and we are doing all of that. So that we're ready to welcome in that new minister. So it hasn't been a passive waiting, it's a very active waiting, and it continues. So we will keep doing those workshops. We will keep working on ourselves as a community, because that is part of what it takes to attract the right person. All of this energy, everything is energy. And what we put out, we're attracting back in. We're attracting new people. We're attracting new rentals. I can feel that circulation happening. What we're putting out is coming back to us. So I know that the exact right minister is out there for us and will be attracted to who we truly are. So along with, all of this energy, money is also energy. And of course, to undertake all of these things requires money. Everybody knows this. We all pay our bills. We all have things at home. So another phase of this, and you'll be hearing some more communication from time to time, is about calling in the financial resources that it will take to invite candidates here for weekends, to, all of those aspects of hosting candidates, interviewing them, and then the financial resources that we need to support our new minister, the minister that we know that we want. So you'll be seeing some more about that. And I know we're ready for the next chapter. This is the next chapter, and it's all, nobody knows how this book is going to be written, is being written. It's ours. We are writing it right now. So I continue to be excited to see, what are the next chapters that are coming for us? What are we writing now? And, how's it all going to turn out? I like definite endings, right? So I want to know what the ending is. So I just wanted to share all that with you because sometimes I think, as a core council, we think that everybody knows, that we've posted our profile or what we're working on, and you don't. So just wanted to share that from up here. All right. Yes.
When you're done,
Uh,
I'd like a moment. If I know that's completely out of typical, but I'd just like a couple of words from you, please.
Okay. All right, so I will go through the happening. So Dr. Bob and Jennifer Phillips are presenting a new workshop this week. So now's the time. If you haven't registered for this is going to be a really great one. It's August 5th and 6th, and it's entitled Living as One in a Divided World. Join us for a timely and meaningful exploration of how we can remain grounded in the spiritual truth of oneness in an increasingly polarized world. The workshop will be online only. Please see our website or the newsletter, or if you need help finding the link, we can help you. Then besides that, our very own Mary Knight will be speaking about the power of sharing our stories on August 16th. Shortly after service, this is another great community building event. It's a storytelling circle entitled Facing Our Fears. She says participants will be encouraged to share moments when they faced a fear. Plan to attend this experiential workshop. Then on August 22nd, we will have our next Gourmets for God. It's called The Discriminating Palate, and we'll be at the home of Marilyn Stafford and Jim Henderson. Aaron Barnhill, David Hiles, and Deborah Feinsod are co-hosts. There will be taste testing, games and prizes, plus a delicious meal. Should be a lot of fun. Then Nashville-based singer-songwriter Aaron English will be coming back to Ahava on Sunday, August the 23rd, and we'll be hosting Amy Steinberg on September 6th. So we just have lots and lots and lots going on here. All right. Now, okay, we don't usually do last-minute announcements, but I'm trusting you, Jean, here. Okay.
I just want to take a minute to thank everybody that participated in the auction last week, and we were very successful. And I want to thank Aaron for building the flyer and all the people that supported all the good that happened. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jean. All right, so Jenna. Oh, no, you're not praying? I'm saying something about you. See? Yeah, well, here we go. So, Reverend Jenna Evergreen is offering prayer after service today. Please meet her at the back of the room if you would like prayer. And then, yes?
One more. Some days, I haven't been in control all day. All of my notes for today got erased accidentally on my phone while I was trying to print it. So that's my excuse for just the way the whole day's been. That's not what I got up here. I got up here to tell you we're going to have fun next week. This may have been heavier for you, but next week I'm going to have a present for everybody that shows up. I've got them all ready, and if you want your present, you have to come and be here in person. I won't tell you what it is, but I'll tell you it's worth about $20. So be here. Be ready to share, be ready for some fun, and be ready to create maybe something altogether different. And then after the service, after a break, I'm going to do a quick clinic on spiritual mind treatment. So you know how to do it. Many of you already know how, but we're going to do a review. Anyway, that's it. I'm going to quit talking now. We will get out of here by 2 o'clock, I promise.
He's talking about that for next week, not today. We're about ready to get out of here, so don't make up next week. All right. So let's say our benediction, please. Something wonderful is happening to me right now. It's this thing called life. Life is in my mind, life is in my body, and life is in my affairs. I accept it, I am it, and I share it. Just the way it appears, and just the way it appears not. Thank you, life.
I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my arms are open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith, I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith, I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Yes, I'm only